And we're back. It is Wednesday, the 20th, the first day of spring. That's right, the first day of spring today. The 21st in Australia, New Zealand. Oh, poor New Zealand. Oh, my heart aches for you guys right now. Woken up to the white supremacist madness. Right in your place. Where it is the 21st of March, as it is in Japan, and in China, India. India just passed midnight, of course. So we are on this 24-hour clock around the world, in the northern hemisphere anyway, welcoming spring. I'm down with lifting the mic now. Let's go. I wanted to hear this track. This is Schizo Cherry March. Schizo Cherry March, so named for the cherry tree, which was half bloomed and half non-bloomed because of the cold snaps in March. Schizo Cherry March. This is the extended version. That's what's going on. But today we have some crazy things happen. I've been maligning the magazines that I subscribe to, and it turns out that there were back issues jammed in a box where they should not have been. So that's going to cause havoc. Today. The result is that we have a back issue of The New Yorker, and I found this really. I love Louis Menal. This is not really working. I've got it on cardioid setting. Bah. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's up today. I think I want it down when the musical and up when it's not. Yeah, so I got this. We're going to read this today. It's from the February issue. This is a very heavy piece by Louis Menal, one of the great minds of the last 40 years. Man, this show is just dumb right now. And we have the April issue of Harper's Magazine, which has some awesome stuff in it. But it also means we can read the index, which we do every month. Clunk, 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 clank. The index, Harper's Index, which is always where they put the card right in front of the index. You know why? Because you need to subscribe. Subscribe. You guys want to hear the index for April? Here on the first day of Springbok. I gotta do something about that. think I started the show without a proper plan today, folkies. Focus. It's not even in the right zonality. There we go. It's a little better. So then it doesn't even need that, does it? Yeah. It's crazy, man. Today has been I don't even know how to think about what today was. I do know this is going to end up being one of the unlisted versions. All right, Harper's Index for April. Here we go, everybody. Percentage change since 1975 in the portion of Americans who hold hunting licenses, minus 38%. Number of states that allow roadkill to be salvaged for food, 31 states. Number of the 20 least prosperous U.S. congressional districts that are represented by Republicans, 16. Oh, the phone's ringing. We should just re-record this. Dry. Yeah, let's just do it dry. Damn fucking phone. Oh, pardon my language there, sorry. Today's show will not be listed because it is pointless to list today's show. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do instead is, here at the 13:30 mark, we're going to begin the program and we're going to record everything dry and do our fun stuff that we enjoy doing. Here is the Harper's Index for April. It's always so great to get your Harper's in the mail. Please go out and subscribe. Do yourself and your mind and your heart and your soul and Harper's Magazine and me a favor. This magazine has been around for a long time, since the late 1800s. It is probably America's longest running monthly, and it is filled with great pastoral beauty, literature, culture, art, philosophy. Please do us all a favor and subscribe to Harper's Magazine. You can go to harpers.org. I'll put the link below. Harper's Index for April. Percentage change since 1975 in the portion of Americans who hold hunting licenses. Negative 38% less since 1975 with hunting licenses. Number of states that allow roadkill to be salvaged for food. 31 states allow that. Number of the 20 least prosperous U.S. congressional districts that are represented by Republicans. 16 of the 20 least prosperous U.S. congressional districts are represented by Republicans. Of the 20 most prosperous districts that are represented by Democrats, 20, all 20 of the most prosperous districts are represented by Democrats. Percentage of statewide elections in the Deep South won by Republicans since 2008. 97% of statewide elections in the Deep South won by Republicans in the last 11 years. Number of new Confederate statues that have been constructed on public grounds since 2015. One. A new one. Percentage of Southern white Americans who say the country must, quote, protect and preserve its white European heritage, close quote. 30% of Southern white Americans. Of Southern black Americans who say they should, quote, protect and preserve its white European heritage, 28% of Southern black Americans agreed with that. That the U.S. must protect and preserve its white European heritage. Rank of Arabic among France's most spoken languages, second most spoken. Percentage of French students who study Arabic in secondary school, 0.2, 2/10 of one person. Sorry, 0.2% of French students study Arabic in secondary school, despite the fact that it's the second most spoken language in the country at the moment. Net loss of foreign language programs at U.S. colleges and universities from 2009 to 2013. From 2009 to 2013, one foreign language program was lost. From 2013 to 2016, 651 foreign language programs at U.S. colleges and universities were lost. Percentage increase from 2012 to 2017 in the number of U.S. college graduates who major in computer science. 51% increase from 2012 to 2017 in computer science majors. In the number of students who earn PhDs in computer science, 17% up. Portion of 2017 computer science PhDs who pursued work in industry rather than academia, 2/3 pursued work in industry rather than academia. Factor by which graduate students are more likely to experience depression or anxiety than the general population, 6 times more likely. Graduate students. Percentage of Indians with graduate educations who are unemployed, 16%. Of Indians who are illiterate, 2%. Percentage change in the value of the U.S. market in adult fiction books from 2013 to 2017, minus 16%. Adult fiction. In children's and young adult fiction, plus 11%. Factor by which Facebook users over 65 are more likely to share stories from fake news sites than users between 18 and 29. 7 times more likely. If you're a Facebook user over 65, 7 times more likely to share stories from fake news sites than users between the ages of 18 and 29. Percentage of U.S. adult Facebook users who are unaware the company categorizes them according to their interests. 74% of U.S. adult Facebook users are unaware the company categorizes them according to their interests. Of users who feel their assigned categories do not accurately describe them, 27% of users feel the categories that they're in don't accurately describe them. A third, nearly. Percentage of Americans born before 1946 who know someone who identifies with gender-neutral pronouns, 7%. Of Americans born after 1996, 35% who know someone who identifies with gender-neutral pronouns. Number of minutes by which the average American man has more leisure time each day than the average woman, 33 minutes more. Percentage of this extra time that men spend watching television, 65% of that time spent watching television. Percentage of Americans who said global warming was personally important to them in the spring of 2018, 63%. In the fall of 2018, 72%. Of Americans said global warming wasn't personally important to them. 72%. Come on, politicians got to get with the green revolution here. Percentage of U.S. adults in 1978 who said that the country's level of consumption were immoral. 65% said it was immoral what we're doing in 1978. Today, 46% say it's immoral. I'm among the 46 saying that our lifestyle is immoral. 46% today, 65% in 1978. Chance that an American CEO expected global economic growth to slow last year, 1 in 50. That a CEO expects global economic growth to slow this year, 3 in 10. Average age of an American with at least $25 million in 2014, the average age is 58. In 2018, the average age 47. In these last 4 years, it's dropped from 58 to 47. $25 million. The average age of a person with $25 million is now 47. Percentage of U.S. adults who say they would rather talk about their own death than money, 57% of Americans. Percentage of Americans aged 18 to 34 who say they'd like to live forever, 24%. Of Americans over 55, 13%. Factor by which the rate of asteroids hitting Earth has increased over the past 290 million years. You may have heard about the asteroid that hit recently. 3 times the rate over the past 290 million years. 3 times the rate. The figures cited are the latest available as of February of this year. The sources are on page 65. Harper's Index is a registered trademark of Harper's Magazine. Now, why don't you do us all a favor, huh? Thanks. That was cool. So that was 22:30 where it ends. That'll be a nice, tight, clean cut. How about some music too? Wetting this up a little bit. Wetting? That's not even, I'm not even sure that's a... There's also an incredible piece in here. It's a pacifist thing. We'll save that for later in the month. Since I just got it, I'll read it and then pick out stuff. It's better than just getting all excited the day I get it and start reading stuff, which is just how I feel every time it comes in the mailbox. It's like food. You're never alone. If you subscribe to Harper's Magazine, you're never alone. Once a month, you get this really nice intellectual, put it right in the brain. Oh my God, T.C. Boyle's new book is on the back. So cool. I'm so excited to see this. That's pretty cool. Let's send that to TC. You want to? What I love about TC Boyle is that he is one of the most amazingly social writers. He's on Twitter and he has a really nice, cool little following. And he's answered me personally so many times. He's just such a cool dude. No, you're not really wrong. You're just going along for your own good. No, you're not really wrong. You're just going along for your own good. No, you're not really wrong. You're just going along, just going along for your own good. No, you're not really wrong. You're just going along for your own good. cool. I just sent a tweet to TC. That is so cool. Look at that. That's the back of this month's Harper's. Outside looking in. A novel of LSD is told by American master T.C. Boyle. Booyah. So anyway, I'm going to read through this, and I'll pull out some stuff to read in future eps, since it just arrived. However, I do want to read this by Louis Menal, staff writer since 2001. 18 years he's been the staff writer at a weekly magazine with a lot of pull, which gives him opportunity to read and learn a lot. One of my favorite writers and philosophers, thinkers, Louis Menand, M-E-N-A-N-D, teaches at Harvard University, I believe. Harvard. If anybody says Harvard, probably not. I don't care who you think you are. You're no better than me now. You had better just watch your stare. I'm not sure what these lyrics mean. They just sounded nice in this track that I made. They're like they fit the mood or something of the track. But again, as you may or may not notice, my whole thing with lyrics is to make them have as many meanings as possible. And intricate many meanings as possible, not vague many meanings as possible. I don't care who you think you are. You're no better than me now. You had better just watch your stare. Gank, dank, gank, dank. What's bad about that is that I'm thinking about this whole mailbox situation that has brought me this stuff. I don't care who you think you are. You're no better than me now. You had better just watch your stare. Yeah, see, it could be so many different people expressing that, I feel like. I like this one a lot, too. What's this one called? These names are so idiotic that it's hard to... Oh, this is called Unlooped. So I spaced on this mail thing, and it's going to have an effect on the emotions in the house. My old man is old, and even though it's not that big of a deal, we're looking at a month ago. This stuff might have been in there a month ago. This is the February 4th issue. Not good. Not that. Not that. Not that. The carriers are supposed to know that, but I had slipped on on ensuring it. Not good, but we made it to the half-hour point. I'm definitely unlisting this, and I'm throwing up the Harper's Index. If you are someone who actually watched this or watches this, I apologize for the nothingness of this program, although I hope you enjoyed the Harper's Index. You should do us all a favor and subscribe. you know, to Harper's.